day for baseball at Miller Park. It's Game 3. The Rockies and the Brew Crew of Milwaukee in prime position to take another series in their home ballpark, and we expect a big crowd tonight. Ryan Braun taking batting practice. He is, of course, last year's National League MVP, and he could be claiming the weekend at Miller Park his, especially after what he did yesterday, and a big MVP ceremony coming up in just moments here from Miller Park. Hi, everybody. Craig Kashan and Davey Nelson back with you as our coverage of Brewers baseball continues. Ryan Braun, a tough stretch here during this homestand, 0 for 16 until he steps to the plate and hits his second home run yesterday. Davey follows that up with a triple, looking so much better late in the game.
Well, and what you saw from Ryan Braun when he hit that home run, he stayed right on the ball and just drove it towards left center field. You know he's swinging the bat good when he does that. And then the triple. It was once again, it was over toward left center field. When he stays on the ball, he's a deadly hitter.
Let's take a look at the history of the MVP within the family here. Raleigh Fingers won it. Robin Yount followed in '82 and Yount again in 1989. And Ryan Braun becomes the third Brewer and fourth time an MVP is claimed in the Brewer organization. And what can Braun do for you? Well, look at these numbers. Third player in Brewers history to win the MVP. Second player in Brewers history to join the 30-30 club. 33 stolen bases. And the first Brewers player in these major offensive categories. 4 consecutive 100 RBI seasons. 3 100-run and 100 RBI seasons as well. And, of course, his power through the home run continues for Ryan Braun. Big ceremony for the home crowd here. Moments away. We'll see if Saturday's performance plus what lies ahead today equals a series win for Ryan Braun and the Brewers against the Rockies.
By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And we welcome you back, Brewers baseball here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Beautiful Miller Park. The roof is closed today, and in a celebratory mood here at Miller Park as they are about to have the Ryan Braun MVP ceremony. And hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. This is a day I think a lot of fans are looking forward to. We certainly are. And as we get plodding along here in 2012, going to take a chance to look back at what was a special year for Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Ryan Braun, a once-in-a-generation kind of a ball player for our organization. Back in the 70s, the Brewers drafted a guy like Robin Yount. Well, in 2005, it was Ryan Braun, and certainly a guy that just when you think he can't do something to surprise you, he does. I mean, all the numbers that he put up last year, the 33 stolen bases, that he gladly trade the MVP award and his 2007 Rookie of the Year award for, I guess, the ultimate goal of the World Series. But certainly Ryan Braun, dramatic wins, dramatic at-bats, and you can see the numbers that he's been able to post since his Major League debut.
Made his Major League debut in May of 2007, and he, by all means, has been one of the most productive players in all of baseball. We had a chance to go to Ryan Braun. We asked him for his perspective on winning the MVP.
You know, ultimately the award that I received individually was a result of our team's success. You know, if we don't have the success that we did as a team, I don't win that award. So, you know, the goal is always to win games as a team, and I think when that happens and that's the focus and the priority, individual accolades come as a result of that. So the goal is always winning games. The goal, you know, for me personally is always to continue to get better. I know there's a lot of room for improvement, but ultimately it's about being a part of a special group of guys and hopefully, again, giving ourselves an opportunity to play meaningful games down the stretch and get back into the postseason.
Well, it'll be a sellout crowd here at Miller Park. The award ceremony is coming up. A great way to cap off the weekend as the Brewers get ready to face the Rockies in the final game of the series. Stay right there.
achievements of Ryan Braun in the 2011 season. Please turn your attention now to the video board and relive some great memories with us. Last year, Ryan Braun put together a special season resulting in a number of awards. He won the National League Silver Slugger Award, presented to the top offensive player at each position in both the National and American Leagues. This is Braun's fourth consecutive Silver Slugger Award, a franchise record. He also became the fourth National League outfielder to win 4 straight. In 2011, Ryan hit .332 with 33 homers and 111 runs batted in. Led the National League with a .597 slugging percentage, .994 on-base plus slugging percentage, and 77 extra base hits. The Baseball Writers Association of America acknowledged this outstanding play by voting Ryan Braun the National League's most valuable player. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Ryan Braun. Joining us today and presenting Ryan's Silver Slugger Award, Brewers chairman and principal owner Mark and Debbie Atanasio. In Brewers history, only 3 players have captured the most coveted individual honor in baseball, Most Valuable Player Award. Raleigh Fingers was the first back in 1981. He also captured that year's Cy Young Trophy. The very next year, the Brewers repeated with Robin Yount taking the award, an honor he earned again in 1989. This afternoon, Brewers outfielder Ryan Braun joins that elite company. Presenting the 2011 award is a very special guest, and until this afternoon, most recent recipient of the MVP award in Brewers history, ladies and gentlemen, 19, the kid, Robin Yount. Welcome back, Robin, and congratulations to Ryan Braun. Thank you for sharing this special moment with us here at Miller Park.
And a great moment here, and I think Ryan Braun will forever remember this moment. Not the fact that it was an MVP season, but so well received here in front of a sellout crowd at Miller Park. And two of the three MVPs, Robin Yount and Ryan Braun. The other, of course, is Raleigh Fingers. And it is a great moment. I know we're into the 2012 season, Rock. You're a former player. You want to stay in your routine. But for Ryan Braun, this is a moment for him to step back and realize what he accomplished and allow all of these fans and all of us here to watch him to recognize that effort.
Yeah, particularly he really didn't have that opportunity in the offseason. That was somewhat unfortunate. But Ryan Braun now ingrains himself in Brewers history along with Robin Yount, along with Raleigh Fingers and some of the great names in baseball. He certainly put up the kind of numbers that affords him that honor. But what a year it was for Ryan Braun, and as we mentioned on our open, I think he would trade it all for a World Series championship. There's not too many individual accolades that Ryan Braun needs to achieve at this point. It's all about the team, and he said the reason he got that MVP award was because his teammates and the fact that the Brewers went to the NLCS.
Oh, and keep in mind, Prince Fielder finished third in the MVP voting. Matt Kemp was second, and of course Braun was the winner of that award. My question for you right now is, after all of that and what has to be an emotional moment here for Ryan Braun, he has his family here, a lot of members of his extended family here. He's getting congratulations from his teammates there. You just don't see that every day. How does he turn the page and get ready for this ball game today?
Well, a normal guy would have a difficult time, but Ryan Braun, I don't think is going to have a difficult time with it. I've never seen a guy that can shrug off all the outside stuff that goes on, all the distractions, everything that he has to deal with, being the kind of a player that he has been in his 5 years with the Brewers, and be able to flip the switch at 7'10" or 110 in this case, and just be a baseball player. And that's what he was born to do.
Well, Ryan Braun is off to a great start in his career, and I think it's great that Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, can boast the two most valuable player awards in the respective sports. The NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers, and, of course, Ryan Braun, Major League Baseball's MVP. That does not happen very often. We've got some interesting research on that as we'll get to throughout the broadcast. But sports in Wisconsin has now taken to another level. The Packers, a powerhouse. The Brewers starting to be perennial contenders. And you put two guys together in the same state, Aaron Rodgers and Ryan Braun. I mean, this is a special time to be a sports fan in the state of Wisconsin right now.
Yeah, and based on individual sports, which of the two had a better year? I mean, I think they're pretty good. They're very close friends, and when they get together and have dinner, I mean, who has the bragging rights? I don't think either one of them. So I think good friends, and they both push each other, and they talk all the time, and it is. I mean, Wisconsin sports certainly has been at on the top shelf on the national stage as of late.
Yeah, you got to go back to the 2002 season to find an NFL MVP, Major League Baseball MVPs. Again, we'll get to that as we continue here. Matters at hand, the Colorado Rockies are here. Jeremy Guthrie against Giovanni Gallardo. The Brewers are trying to win this series. There's Jeremy Guthrie. He was their opening day starter, as was Gallardo. And Ryan Braun is part of this, but he's in the lineup today, obviously, and he started to swing the bat a little better yesterday. So now the Brewers are trying to win back-to-back series here at home after taking 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers.
Yeah, and both of these guys go in a bit of a different direction. I mean, Yo had a really tough time against the Cardinals in his first start, and his last two have been superb. Guthrie, on the other hand, did a pretty good job in his first start, but got pounded around his last time out. So the Brewers started to get the bats going. Four innings in yesterday's ball game, did not have a base runner, but all of a sudden in the 5th inning, things started to erupt. And I would imagine Ryan felt a lot better about today's ceremony after the night he had at the plate last night.
All right, well, Braun had a triple and a home run, and he takes to the field. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll get you set for the first pitch. Lineups at first pitch coming your way, and the opening day starter, Giovanni Gallardo, he is back out there trying to build on what has been 2 very good starts for the Brew Crew. Baseball coming up next.
Milwaukee's soul isn't in the streets of the city. It's in the hearts of the people. I know. I've played here for 5 years. Right now for the Brewers, life is good. But like this town, we won't rest. We'll work, we'll sweat, we'll fight. Milwaukee doesn't pat itself on the back. It gets the job done. I've played my heart out for this town. In big games.
He's done it again!
On great teams. I believe they were the best.
Morgan, a smash up the middle. Base hit to center. Here comes Gomez. Around third. A throw and the Brewers win.
Against teams who believe they were too.
The St. Louis Cardinals are headed back to the World Series.
Live for games like this, for the moments that make everyone rise to their feet. Defining moments that remind us why we love this game.
And on a day when they honor Ryan Braun, boy, that kid, he drew the lucky card today, taking the position of left field with the MVP for the national anthem earlier today.
He'll be a popular kid at school tomorrow.
Yeah, no question. We welcome you back. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And back to the routine here as Jim Tracy and the Colorado Rockies are here for one more day. Their only trip to Milwaukee this year. 4th year as the Rockies skipper. Took them to the playoffs in 2009. And here is the Piggly Wiggly batting order for Colorado. Marco Scutaro leads off. Tyler Colvin gets the call in center field with Carlos Gonzalez batting third. And then it's Troy Tulowitzki, Jason Giambi over at first base today, Michael Kadire in right, Ramon Hernandez, Jonathan Herrera, and Jeremy Guthrie rounded out.
Well, Giovanni Gallardo making his 4th start of the year. His last 2 have been very good. He's been able to cover 14 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, and has not given up a home run. Those 4 home runs came on opening day against the Cardinals. And at home in his career in 118 starts for Yo, 30-16 here at Miller Park.
So Gallardo trying to build off what has been 2 good starts. Rock mentioned his last time out against the Dodgers, 7 innings, 2 runs, went 7 innings in a victory against the Cubs the time before that, gave up just 1 run. So he's at 1-1 as he fires a strike to Marco Scutaro, and away we go from Miller Park. Great crowd on hand today, sellouts on Saturday and Sunday, and big crowds throughout the homestand as well. It's been a thrilling homestand, back and forth ball games. The Brewers played 4 consecutive 1-run games leading up to last night's ball game. They finally broke it open in a 9-4 win, courtesy of a 6-run inning for the Brewers, and a chance to win their 2nd consecutive series here at home as Gallardo deals strike 2 to Scutaro. Gallardo, a 17-game winner last season with the Brewers in 33 starts. Still just 26 years of age. And a swing and a miss. And that's how the day starts for Giovanni Gallardo, a strikeout.
Well, Marco Scutaro had not struck out before his leadoff at bat yesterday, and well, he's got 2 in the books now. Tough guy to punch out, but Yo able to get him with a high fastball. Gallardo has fixed his rhythm issues, as you can see. The umpiring crew today, Todd Tishner behind home plate.
There's the crew chief, Brian Gorman. There's been a lot of talk about Gallardo and his tempo. We had a chance to visit with Giovanni Wednesday night, the day after his start. He joined us in the middle of the ball game from the Brewers dugout. We appreciate him doing that. But he talked a lot about tempo, rhythm, trying to find that right rhythm between too fast or too slow. And he thinks he's found something here. You can tell in his windup he's a little more hunched over and pitching with a little more pace.
And the thing that he and Rick Kranis, were working on was at the top of his delivery, that little bit of a balancing act on the back leg before he fires to home plate. Right there. He seems to have corrected whatever it is that was going on.
There's a base hit for Tyler Colvin, getting the start for Dexter Fowler today in center field. And a base hit for the Rockies with one away. Well, his last start Tuesday against Los Angeles, Gallardo certainly pitched well enough to win the game. He did not factor in the decision, however.
And Brewers won. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, a couple of runs, 1 walk, 7 punch-outs, and the big statistic for Yo has not given up a home run since that opening day start.
And he gave up 4 against the Cardinals on opening day. Very uncharacteristic of Giovanni Gallardo. Here's Carlos Gonzalez. He's off to a slow start this season. Gonzalez has just 11 hits in his first 45 at-bats. That is a .244 batting average. He's a big threat throw. He and Tulowitzki, great tandem in this Rockies batting order. 2 years ago, Gonzalez threatened a triple crown and finished 3rd in the MVP race. Had a monster season in 2010.
And that's the thing, when he gets going, he might not shut down. I mean, that's the way he's been in his career. Well, he started, making a name for himself in the postseason with the Rockies, and really has continued that success. A good player. Gets the ball to all fields. He can run, and has a tremendous throwing arm in the outfield.
Well, he wears the number of the man he was traded for. The Rockies acquired Gonzalez from the Athletics for Matt Holliday. There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike on Carlos Gonzalez. And his breakout season was 09. And that was the year that he had so much success in the postseason against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies won that series, but Gonzalez had a great run in the 09 NLDS. And then, of course, 2010, he very nearly won a Most Valuable Player award. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Gallardo goes with a wrinkle there.
Yeah, a little breaking pitch, a slider. Well, fell behind 2-0, and 2 pretty good pitches to get back to an even count. This Rockies club, very good fastball hitters, and particularly when they're in the fastball count, like every team is, but these guys can take you out of the yard. You get behind them.
Didn't miss by much. Gonzalez doesn't chase it. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. This homestand continues tomorrow, by the way. The Brewers are here for 9 total. The Astros are coming in tomorrow. In the air, shallow center, Nyjer Morgan makes the play for out number 2. Gallardo outlasting Carlos Gonzalez here in the first.
Yeah, the Houston Astros come in here tomorrow, but Gallardo with a nice 2-seamer got Gonzalez off the end of the bat. Good pitch.
And it'll be Troy Tulowitzki now. Well, Tulowitzki has always handled the Milwaukee Brewers pitching staff. Only Kevin Millar has a higher batting average against Milwaukee, and that's a minimum of 20 games. It's Tulowitzki, another base hit. That'll up his batting average. It was at .402 coming in to play today. Our buddy Kevin Millar, a .414 lifetime hitter against the Brewers. That's the best all time. Tulowitzki's gaining on him.
Yeah, interesting. Both right-handed hitters. Tulowitzki looked like he got a cut fastball and able to wait back and hit it hard in the center. Gallardo has broke out every one of his pitches except for his curveball so far in this first inning. He's thrown changeups and cutters and sliders, 4-seamers. He has struggled against the Rockies in his career.
He's never beaten Colorado in his career. 0-4 and an ERA of 6.69. That's in 7 games. including 6 starts, and has had one of the worst starts of his career against the Colorado Rockies.
And that was back in 07. He had 11 runs on 12 hits in one start.
Still the most runs Gallardo has ever allowed, most hits and most runs back in 07. Last year against Colorado gave up 6 earned runs in a game. That one's driven to right by Giambi, a base hit, and the Rockies are going to score here in the first inning. So just like we saw Friday night, the Rockies get some 2-out magic in the first, and they are on the board as Jason Giambi wastes little time putting the Rockies on top.
Yeah, Giambi with very good numbers against Gallardo, now 7 for 16 in his career. I think that was a changeup right there, a straight changeup, and Giambi, the old veteran, able to muscle it into right in between Ricky and Corey Hart.
Giambi getting the start at first base. Tracy tries to get him in there once a week, typically on Sundays for Todd Helton.
You got to give Helton the time off once in a while. He can't play every day. Not a bad guy to fill in. The old and the new. I should say the veteran and the youngster. I don't want to get Jason Giambi upset with me.
Michael Kadire, one of the new additions for the Rockies. He had a game winner here on Friday night, a 9th inning pinch hit RBI single that broke a tie, gave the Rockies the lead, and a lead they would not give up. Good pickup for the Rockies, Michael Kadire, and he's off to a terrific start. Has 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in for Colorado.
He always has the ability to pick up that big RBI. You need him late. He did that in the first game of this series. Tough guy to strike out.
Kadire in his career against Gallardo is 3 for 10. Gallardo has struck him out 4 times. A run is in, first and third, and down he goes. Gallardo finds the bottom of the strike zone. 1-0 Rockies. The Brewers are coming up. Manager of the year voting last year, just losing out to Kurt Gibson of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Ron Renicky hoping his team will get it turned around. A nice win yesterday, saw some life in the offense. Piggly Wiggly batting order today for Renicky. It is Weeks, Morgan, and Braun. Ramirez, Hart, and Gamble in the middle of the order. The bottom 3, Gonzalez, Lucroy, and Gallardo. Alex Gonzalez had the big day yesterday. Jeremy Guthrie, the Rockies' opening day starter, and has now started 4 of the last 5 opening days. The others were with the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, this is his first year in the American League. He spent time with the Cleveland Indians and the Orioles, and And the Brewers, one of 5 teams in all of baseball that he has not made a start against. He's had a couple of rough outings in a row.
Check the defense behind Jeremy Guthrie, Gonzalez, Colvin, Kadire in the outfield. Colorado has Jonathan Herrera starting at third with Tulowitzki and Scudero at the Keystone, Giambi at first, and then Ramon Hernandez doing the catching today. A couple of former Orioles matching up together. Hernandez and Guthrie were teammates in Baltimore. And while Guthrie is making his first start against Milwaukee, there is a lot of familiarity with this pitcher in that Brewers dugout. Guthrie's pitching coach in Baltimore was Rick Kranitz, the current Brewers pitching coach, and John Shelby, also a coach on the Brewers staff, was the first base coach in Baltimore as well. So plenty of scouting reports going around between those two for the Brewer offense.
And Alex Gonzalez has faced him 9 times with 5 base hits. And not a better guy to give a scouting report on a pitcher than his old pitching coach.
Ricky Weeks back at the top of the batting order. Ricky in this series is 1 for 8. But that one hit was a big one. Tripled off the wall yesterday, and that drove in a run. All-star second baseman off to a sluggish start. Just 2 homers and 3 RBIs. It's sawed off. Here's Tulowitzki, and he makes the play for the out. So 1 gone as Weeks is retired. And that'll bring up Nigel Morgan.
Hey, Guthrie, one of those guys that he'll mix it up a little bit. 93 with a fastball, but his best pitch and his out pitch is his curveball. It's a very good pitch. He'll throw a slider and a changeup once in a while, but basically fastball curve.
Well, Nigel Morgan, a 5 for 39 start at the plate. Well, Nori Aoki got a start earlier in the series on Friday night, had an inside the park home run, played center field. Morgan gets the call today. Ron Renicky very loyal to Nigel Morgan and knows that he's got a chance to break out of it. That one is hit high in the air to left. And Gonzalez hauls it in for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and here comes Ryan Braun on the day they had a ceremony for his MVP.
Left fielder Ryan Braun.
Now Braun had a good game yesterday. He was hitless on this homestand. It had reached 16 consecutive at-bats without a hit until his home run last night, and then he had an RBI triple to go along with it. Well, if you're just picking us up before the game, the kid Robin Yount was here to present the MVP trophy to Ryan Braun. Those are 2 of the 3 MVPs in Milwaukee Brewers franchise history. Raleigh Fingers is the other.
Yeah, we talked about it on our broadcast open. You know, once in a generation type player, Ryan Braun, 2005 pick for the Brewers, and back in the 70s it was Robin Yount. That was that guy back then. Have a chance we might be able to, you know, have him up here in the booth around the 3rd inning and give us his thoughts on on Brawny. Good to see Joe and Diane, you know, Ryan's parents, in the dugout too.
Now Ryan has a lot of family here, a lot of extended family members for the presentation today. Mark and Debbie Adonacio here as well. They presented Ryan with the Silver Slugger Award. Well, Guthrie dialing up the fastball here.
Man, 95 of that last one. That's what I get for talking to the Rockies guys about this guy. Not giving me the real scoop.
He definitely has enough to go get the big fastball. Typically you don't see 94, 95 out of Guthrie this early in a game, but he's going after Ryan Braun. That was 96, and Braun draws the walk. Guthrie's always been a guy that wants to pitch with his fastball, but he's been using a lot of breaking stuff here early in the season. Jim Tracy said we're all going to have to give him a mulligan for his last start. He was pitching sick, had a very high fever, apparently.
His strep throat was running through that Rockies clubhouse. But he went out there, got banged around pretty good against the Padres.
He gave up 6 earned runs to the Padres in 7 innings. Now Ramirez up with 2 away.
Now his first start was pretty good against the Astros in Houston. 3 earned runs in 7 innings. That was his only win of the year.
Well, there are only 3 Brewers who have ever had an at-bat against Guthrie leading up to today's game. Aramis Ramirez is one of them. 1 for 5 in his career. Nigel Morgan's only seen him twice, and as Rock mentioned, Alex Gonzalez the other, 5 for 9. So not a whole lot out there as by way of a book against Jeremy Guthrie. Pretty good breaking ball.
Yeah, there's that slider we were talking about. He'll throw that pitch to a right-hander. Yeah, basically 4 pitches. When he's got that curveball going, that's when he can be pretty tough out there.
Check on Braun again. Guthrie stepping off the back of the rubber, which is why you don't have to make a throw to first base. That must be a strategy for the Rockies pitchers. We've seen that a couple of times from their starters, as Ramirez is down a ball and 2 strikes now. That was 94 and looked like it was moving away from Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez is starting to talk to himself a little bit. Remember yesterday Ryan was starting to talk to himself and he had a big day. Look out for Ramirez today. He's talking to himself in that batter's box.
If it was only that easy. Ball and 2 strikes. And Ramirez drives one center field. But his former Cubs teammate is there to make the catch. Tyler Colvin hitting over. Oh, you know the best thing about that helmet? They're going to fill it up with ice cream at some point. Ice cream helmets. Check the defense for the Brewers today. Brought to you by Menards. With Braun, Morgan, and Hart in the outfield. Ramirez, Gonzalez, Weeks, and Gamble go around the horn. And doing the catching today, Jonathan Lucroy on Jonathan Lucroy Bobblehead Day. Gallardo back out there for inning number 2. Gave up a run on 3 hits in the first inning. And facing Ramon Hernandez, making his second start of the series. The former Red, former Oriole. Now in his first year as a member of the Colorado Rockies. Had a good catching tandem in Colorado this season with Willeen Rosario and Ramon Hernandez. Rosario's the young kid, 22-year-old catcher, and then Hernandez the veteran presence.
And Rosario caught last night's ball game, and I'll tell you, he looked like he was a hockey goalie back there. Balls flying all over the backstop last night. That was one of the reasons why the Brewers were able to get that victory. Pass balls and wild pitches.
Bouncing ball out to short. Gonzalez. Boy, what a play. So smooth. Had a long way to go. They were playing Hernandez in the hole between third and short. Covered a lot of ground, and there's out number 1.
Yeah, we talked about Alex on Brewers pregame show today, Brewers Live, about some of the accolades that he has been able to get in his career defensively. And I was looking at the media guide today about Gonzalez, and since 2002, the most errors he's committed in a season was 16.
Wow.
And that's not bad for a shortstop. Last year, only 12 with the Atlanta Braves.
Gonzalez has a Gold Glove award on his mantle, carrying along a great tradition of Venezuelan shortstops. And Gonzalez wears that number 11 to honor one of the greatest of them all from Venezuela, Luis Aparicio. Great White Sox shortstop has his number retired. A .972 career fielding percentage from the shortstop position. That is stellar. Jonathan Herrera, the switch hitter, getting the start at third base in this game for Chris Nelson. I think the Rockies began the season very confident with their offense. Jim Tracy was telling us this spring in Arizona that he feels very good about his batting order. He's got some interchangeable pieces, some switch hitters. He's got some youth in that lineup along with that veteran presence, so he feels comfortable in the balance of his offense. As Herrera flares one to left, Braun was well positioned, and there is out number 2.
I don't think Jim Tracy is too worried about his offense. I think the Rockies are going to score runs to be competitive, but we saw one of the Achilles heels of this club last night, their middle relief. I mean, everybody has issues with that. I think the Brewers are pretty happy with theirs. But the back end of their rotation and their middle relief somewhat in question.
They have a closer in Betancourt that has not had that role in his career despite his 36 years of age. And a lot of young starting pitching. The Rockies have a lot of talent in their system. Many of those pitchers starting to surface in the major leagues and get established now, and that's one of the main reasons why they wanted to bring Jeremy Guthrie in. Somebody who could front this rotation, a guy who has been an opening day starter. He's been at the front of a rotation before, and it was kind of a perfect marriage. Guthrie has been a pitcher in search of some run support. He's been a pitcher looking for offense. Well, he might have found it here in Colorado.
Tough place to pitch, but you're going to get some runs. You look at his season last year, talking about Guthrie. I mean, he pitched pretty well, but he was 9-17 with Baltimore.
He has twice lost 17 games in his career.
He had a .433 ERA. I mean, that's not the kind of an earned run average that you would expect a guy to lose 17 games. And .433 in the American League, not bad.
Guthrie's a great athlete. Guthrie probably more excited about swinging the bat than anything else coming to the National League. When he was in high school, he was the MVP of his football, basketball, and baseball team. As a prep player in Oregon.
I mean, weren't you? I mean, the big athlete?
No, not hardly.
No?
Well, actually, I was.
Yeah, you were. Come on.
I mean, I don't want to, don't want to brag, but
I mean, guys in the major leagues, I mean, let's face it. I mean, probably top athletes in their schools.
a 3-sport star. Oh, Gallardo walks the pitcher. Guthrie has good speed as well. I don't know if he's a running candidate, but he's certainly a guy that could score on a ball in the gap or down the line. Marco Scutaro was a strikeout victim in the first. Rockies have already had 4 base runners first time through the batting order. Gamma will give it a look, and that is in the seats. Great crowd today, Rock. Good to see the folks coming out to Miller Park. As usual here on Sunday, it's a calmer crowd.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday night's a big night in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a loud crowd.
Right. But, you get out of the ballpark, you go do your thing, and people recovering a bit here at the ballpark. But it looks like another sellout. Had a sellout last night.
There's a base hit. Marco Scutaro with a 2-out single. A lot of damage done for the Rockies in the first 2 innings with 2 outs. It's the 4th base runner they've had with 2 away. They had 2 hits last inning, and now a walk and a single with 2 away.
Yeah, Giovanni having a tough time locating that fastball. And when you can't locate the fastball as you would like, nothing else really works for you. These Rockies, they will jump on first pitch fastballs if you don't put them where you want to. Could be a long day.
Tyler Colvin, he singled and scored the first and only run of the game. Batting with 2 away and 2 on. And he rips that one foul. Getting some comfortable swings at Gallardo.
Hey, we've seen Gallardo, have a rough time out of the gates from time to time, but has been able to right the ship and put together some pretty good innings. There's a big out right here. Got to get this guy, because then you have trouble with Gonzalez and Tulowitzki.
Colvin got the start in right field on Friday night in the opener. In center field here today. Traded to the Rockies from the Cubs. He was part of that Ian Stewart deal. The Cubs traded away their center fielder. Marlon Byrd traded him to the Boston Red Sox, and that will make room for their young prospect, Brett Jackson.
How about that Red Sox game yesterday, huh? They had a 9-0 lead over the Yankees late. Lost 15-9.
Well, the Yankees just came roaring back. I watched the post-game press conference of Bobby Valentine, and boos are already raining down at Fenway Park. Man. He's had a rough start to his managerial career in Boston.
Their pitching has been dreadful so far.
Colvin pops it up. Gallardo had him out in front, and we'll get out of this second inning. Rocky Strand 2, scoreless inning for Gallardo. The Brewers coming to bat. Before the game for Ryan Braun, how about we look back at some of the great moments last year? The pinch hit home run against the Marlins in June. The other big moment was against the Cardinals. That was August 31st. Remember this? Infamous Ryan Braun moment. But he was a game winner against Matt Lindstrom and the Colorado Rockies. Walk-off home run for Ryan Braun late, and maybe the biggest of them all against the Florida Marlins, September 23rd. Another walk-off, actually a last at-bat win. That was the bottom of the 8th inning home run for Ryan Braun against the Florida Marlins. And when he hits them, he knows they're gone. He's had some of the biggest home runs in the history of the franchise. And that led him to the MVP award. And I think, Rock, you made a great point last year, and as we were discussing who might win the most valuable player award, the big difference between Braun and Kemp, to no fault of Matt Kemp, but
right.
The Brewers are in the middle of a hot pennant race. Braun delivered the big hits.
Well, and, each and every at bat in August and September, when you're in a pennant race, you're trying to hold on to first place. I mean, those at bats, just the mentality of those at bats, so much different when you're not in a race, and that was the big difference, and that's why Ryan won the award. And he'll tell you that. He'll tell you the reason he won the MVP is because of his teammates and the fact that the Brewers were in the playoffs.
Well, we're hoping to be joined by Robin Yount next inning, so stay tuned for that. And he'll have a great perspective on winning the most valuable player award, playing on a winning team. Scheduled to join us in the 3rd inning.
It's kind of not fair showing Ryan Braun in a pile on third baseline and on his MVP day. That was funny.
That's kind of the the yin and the yang, the good and the bad.
Humanizing him.
Right.
I get it.
Just one of the memorable moments, and you think about Braun's year last year, and that's one of the first things that comes to mind. Did a lot of great things, but that was one of the funnier moments of the season. And then the next day, Gallardo and Sean Markham doing the chalk outline with athletic tape. Corey Hart, Matt Gamble, and then Alex Gonzalez. Hart has worked the count full here, 3-2 against Guthrie. Guthrie walked Braun in the first. And there's a called strike 3 as Guthrie dots the corner. Corey Hart doesn't agree.
And 95 miles an hour. And check it out, right on that outside corner, a pretty good pitch right at the knees. Hey, it's Miller time in the Miller Lite Beer Pen every Friday night at Miller Park. Fans 21 and older can get a Lowe's bleacher ticket and a free T-shirt for only $22. Some restrictions apply.
One gone for Matt Gamble. Gamble with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Comes in with a .280 batting average, has 14 hits through his first 50 at-bats. Gamble has a couple of hits in this series and an RBI. He's 2 for 6 against Colorado.
You can always tell when a guy is feeling comfortable at the plate. I mean, he's been patient. He's been swinging at strikes. He's been getting the count in his favor. His on-base percentage at .345, not too bad at this point. You're uncomfortable in that batter's box. You're swinging at everything. Matty's been pretty good up there.
Gamble had 2 hits on Friday night, including that RBI. And he pulls that one right to Giambi. Caught it in the air. Line drive out for Giambi, and the second out. Powerball home run count. Alex Gonzalez, a 3-run homer last night, his 3rd home run of the season. And there was some sweet satisfaction for Gonzalez on that particular home run last night, as you see the Powerball home run leaderboard. Gonzalez tied with George Kataris. The scene last night, the backstory, the fact that Rockies manager Jim Tracy walked Corey Hart with 2 outs to get to Gonzalez, feeling like it was a better matchup with Gonzalez at the plate than Corey Hart, so he intentionally walked apart, and then Gonzalez responded with a 3-run home run. That put the game away.
Right, it did. Yeah, made it 9-3. Gonzalez will hit you some home runs to go along with that great defense. Yeah, still waiting for Ryan Braun and Aramis Ramirez to show up on that home run leaderboard. It won't be long.
2-0 on Gonzalez. And that one got in on his hands. And this will be an easy 3-up, 3-down inning for Jeremy Guthrie. From one MVP to the other. We'll talk to the kid, Robin Yount, when we continue. Us here in the booth, 1-0 Colorado as we move to the third inning. Great to see you, Robin, and it just looked perfect with you holding that MVP trophy. You've held one, and you're one of the few that have.
Well, I don't know if it
history.
looked perfect. I'm making sure I got all the mustard off my mouth and my hands, and enjoying a nice broth there.
Well, we appreciate
I hope I
you,
didn't get it on Ryan's trophy.
Nah, well, you know, he has people for that, if that's the case.
Okay.
And it'd be Robin Yount mustard, so it'd be worth something. But thanks for coming up, because we are really excited about this day, and obviously the fans want to recognize Ryan Braun, but you bring a unique perspective, and because you're a fan now, but you've also been in that role. What are your thoughts about Ryan Braun and his season last year?
Well, obviously it was an incredible season. You don't win MVPs on mediocre years, but you know, when you win an MVP and you've helped your team get to the playoffs, it's even more special, you know, because let's face it, that's what we're here for, is try to win games, as many games as possible. And so when you put together a year like that, like Ryan did last year, and get to the playoffs, it just makes it that much better.
You guys had an incredible run in the early 80s. Raleigh in 81, you in 82. I mean, it was a special time for Brewers baseball back then.
Well, in those 2 years we made the playoffs also. So,
right.
You know, that's what I'm alluding to here is when that happens, it makes it extremely special.
Now, the first one you won at shortstop, second one in center field. I mean, was there any that was more special?
Well, the first one, obviously, because that was the year we went to the World Series. I know the difference, because the second one we won, we didn't get to the playoffs.
Right.
That one didn't feel nearly as good as the first one.
But not many, win an MVP at two different positions. I mean, that's what I'm kind of saying.
Yeah.
Takes a special talent to do that.
Well, I don't know. It takes an oddball, I guess, or something. You got to be a little different to do something that way. But, the first one, again, like I said, meant more to me than the second one, just because of the type of year we had. But the bottom line is, you know, it's an individual award that is not accomplished without your teammates around you having good years too, because there are very, very few people in the game of baseball that can, you know, put together a type of year without a supporting cast to win an MVP. And there's no question, you know, obviously all the guys had a good year last year, which helped Ryan. He just happened to be the best of those guys.
Prince Fielder finished third in the MVP voting last year. Matt Kemp was second, and then Braun. I was looking at your numbers, and I know your least favorite subject is Robin Yount, but since you're here, we'll throw some superlatives out there as Gonzalez strikes out. But at 82, that you drew 98% of the vote, so almost unanimous MVP. There was at 89 though. There was a lot of guys. There was like 4 guys that had a chance, and I'm sure like Ryan Braun with Matt Kemp, you know, there had to be some idea that this could be a surprise. It could go either way. I was looking at Cal Ripken's numbers that year, and you guys split the vote fairly evenly. Can you compare the two? It looked like you were going to win the MVP for sure in 82. Did you feel that way after the season ended?
I didn't even think about it. You know, we were so wrapped up in the pennant race in the World Series. The last thing on my mind was an MVP award at that time. And in all honesty, it's rarely on players' minds. You know, you're out here to play the game, to help your team win ball games, and you know, those are the things that they're nice when the season's over, but I don't think too many people think about winning MVPs during the course of a season. So I lost my train of thought, though. What was your question, though?
Just the fact that there were a number of other players comparing it to Ryan Braun, who looks at Matt Kemp, and that was a close race.
No, I know where you were going.
Once the season's
in '89, it was very, as a lot of people, I guess you're saying Cal was in the running too, but
Ruben Sierra
was the one that if you just pull out statistics and go stat for stat, I think Ruben Sierra probably wins that one. At least that was their argument in Texas. I think though that we were in a little bit more of a race that year than they were, but I don't know what convinced them to go for me instead of Ruben that year.
Well, Tulowitzki flies out. 2 quick outs here for Yovani Gallardo, and spending a few minutes here with Robin Yount, 2-time MVP and the Hall of Famer.
You were with the team in spring training, and you noticed Ronnie going about his business. It was a rough offseason for him. He had the MVP and all the other stuff going on. Did you sense that he was handling it pretty well?
I thought he handled it great. Let's face it, Bronny's a confident guy. He has a lot of trust in his ability. And good players are like that. And the one thing he told me is, there's nothing we can do about the way it all turned out, but he was going to use the fan,
the energy,
whatever it is he gets as more of a motivating factor to help him play better and show them that he is the player that the award live up to the award, I guess.
Yeah, good players like yourself and Ryan have an ability to flip the switch, on and off pretty quickly.
Well, I don't know if I did so much, but
with the stuff all around going on before the game and all that stuff, and once the first pitch goes, it's all a different game.
Well, that's true. When you get between the lines, some people can focus better than others, and oftentimes that's the difference. That's why we have so many players in baseball that some pan out, some don't.
Right.
You have great talent that for some reason sometimes doesn't pan out the way it should, and most of that comes down to being able to get in a place that you need to be when the game's going on to perform the best that you can, and some can do that and some can't.
Visiting with Robin Yount, 2-time MVP for the Brewers. And on a day when the Brewers honor Ryan Braun's 2011 MVP, he certainly has a chance to win multiple MVPs. He's that kind of player. He has just 5 years in the major leagues now. Have you guys had any discussions? Has he come to you about staying in Milwaukee. He signed this long-term deal. It's a 10-year contract. Do you guys ever have that conversation?
No, never did. But I'll tell you, when he first did that, I was, I respected the heck out of that decision, because you don't see that happen very often anymore with these guys.
Stay with us. Can you hang on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Robin Yount, as we head to the bottom of the third. Maybe Bronny will get an at-bat. Is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Forever remembered as the kid, Robin Yount, the statue out in front. Look at the size of those forearms. Now, is that true? Is that authentic?
I need to hurry up and die, because that guy there, look, that guy's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I need to get out of here and not let anybody see me for
man,
real.
The muscles busting right through that skin. Wow.
That was a good sculptor there.
Nice.
You know how much money that cost me?
Robin Yount joins us in the booth as the Brewers honor Ryan Braun in his MVP season last year. Perfect timing to have Robin up. Robin gave him the trophy today. And one of 3 statues out there. Bob Uecker will have one later this year. We were talking about Ryan Braun, the MVP season, but the fact that he's a Brewer and the fact that he's going to be a Brewer, I think is very important for the fans here that have responded so well. You played your entire career with Milwaukee. Do you see a trend coming back in Major League Baseball with guys?
Well, I don't know if it's a trend of players that want to stay in one place, but what I think is going to start happening is you start to see success here again in Milwaukee, and players want to go to where the teams have success. And with Ryan signing a long-term deal like he did, and if we continue to have the success that we've had the last few years, you're going to start attracting the better players to want to come to Milwaukee. And I think that that's huge for an organization, for a player like Ryan to commit himself to the Brewers for that long.
Yeah, Ramis Ramirez is a good example of that. He actually called Doug Melvin, wanting to come here, not just because of the success, but the fan support, how good the fans are, the roof. I mean, this is just a good place to play baseball.
Well, that's what I mean. Success as a franchise, not just on the field. Look what we've done here, you know, the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been, throwing $3 million, 3 out of the 4 years, whatever it may be. You know, there's great energy in this ballpark these days, and guys want to play in front of that. And hopefully, you know, it's the way the system is, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But free agency is what it is, and hopefully we can attract some good ones to want to come here, too.
Let's shift gears real quick. You got an endeavor with the North Woods League.
Yeah, in the North Woods, the Lakeshore Chinooks. Yeah, we start this year. We have our opening day here. We start a few days earlier, but on June 4th will be opening day out at Concordia University. The first game for the, at least at our park, for the Lakeshore Chinooks. We're all excited.
You're going to be there?
I will be there, absolutely.
Are you going to be an active owner? I mean, are you going to be down there mixing it up a little bit?
No, I'm somewhat active in the fact that I'm trying to make as many contacts with college coaches as I can, because I'm trying to get us to have the best team we can have. I'm going to try to, see if I can't steal the best high school. I guess some seniors can play, but mostly freshman and sophomore college kids, and get the best ones we can here, because the real owner, Jim Kazmarek, I call him a poor man's George Steinbrenner. He wants this to be the team that every kid wants to come play for. So,
well, having Robin Young call, that's got to help. How about the college coach who takes that phone call?
Right.
Hi, this is Robin Yount. I'd like your players to come play.
I think right away you get a little bit of attention. You're going to take it seriously. But that Northwoods League is a nice college league. A lot of big leaguers.
It's a good league. There's no question about it. The better players in college that go away to play summer ball come to the Northwoods League. So the competition's good. Obviously they're college kids. We're using a majority of the staff to run the team will be college students from Concordia. It's just a great concept, a way to help promote baseball here in Milwaukee. The Brewers are behind it, and it's going to be fun. It's more like minor league baseball. It's pretty laid back. You do a lot of silly things at the ballpark every night, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are too. That is going to be fun, and the players themselves, they have host families. Rock was a star in the Cape Cod League, a Cape Cod Hall of Famer. As Weeks goes down the line, extra bases for Ricky Weeks, and it comes with 2 outs. So there's an opportunity here as the Brewers get the double from Ricky. And a chance to tie this game.
Speaking of host families, Craig Counsell has already agreed to be a host family for one of the kids. So he lives right next to the ballpark, I guess, so it'll work out good.
You see, all the Robinade you can drink. Possibly a Craig Counsell live-in.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good.
And one of your old buddies was a former Northwoods League manager, Jim Gantner.
Yes, that's true. We're trying to get Gumby to be one of our assistant coaches out there, but right now he's balking at it a little bit.
Not ready to commit to a full season?
I guess. I don't know. Contract negotiations are tough with him.
Oh, man. I'd love to sit in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Now that I'm on the ownership side, I have to pay attention to that. And he wants way too much money.
He wants pension. He wants it all. Yeah. Nigel Morgan. And that one almost hit him. Robin Yount is joining us here, among other things, owner of a college wood bat league team in the Northwoods League, which is a great league, and we've been up to Wausau, Madison. We've had a lot of fun with the teams in the state of Wisconsin. They do a great job promoting the game of baseball. It's an entertaining brand of baseball as well. Morgan on a hop to second, and Scudero makes the play. Robin, great to see you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for spending some time with us.
It's my pleasure. Always great seeing you guys, and always wonderful being here in Milwaukee. I love it.
All right, Robin Yount, 2-time MVP, handed the MVP award to Ryan Braun before the game.
keys to the game brought to you by GMC. It was a Jason Giambi single with 2 outs in the first inning to play the only run of the ball game. In the meantime, Jeremy Guthrie throwing pretty well. He's allowed only 1 hit through 3 innings against a Brewer team that seemed to break out of it last night.
Well, Gallardo back on the mound with 4 strikeouts, giving up the 1 run that came in the first inning. Has settled down since that first inning where he allowed 3 hits, facing Michael Kadire to start the 4th. Rockies have 4 hits thus far. It's always great to see Robin Yount. I mean, what a day at the ballpark. Get to see an MVP award given to Ryan Braun, and Robin Yount making an appearance. It always makes a day complete, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good day when you can see Robin. It really is. He's one of those guys that commands respect everywhere he goes. Never heard anybody speak a bad word about Robin Yount.
You know, he spent a great deal of time with the ball club this spring. One of the things Ron Renicky did when he took over as manager is that he not only had Robin out at spring training, but encouraged a significant role for him. As Kadire gets good wood on that one. Back is Morgan. This ball is well hit. Morgan is there for the out. Kadire hit it a ton. 1 gone for Gallardo here in the 4th. Now Sundays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall. And this week it's Buck O'Neill. Boys in the Hall after the game, presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. But it's been great to see Robin Yount the last 2 spring trainings with a very active role. He's there every day. Renicky asked Robin if he would be more than just a guy that comes in, and because Robin's not a guy who's going to offer his opinion, you know.
Right.
He's just not that way. But I think Renicky figured if he was involved with the infielders, if he was involved hitting fungos and there every day, it'd create more opportunities for guys to go connect with Robin. And Ron Renicky made it clear he wants his players to be as much like Robin Yount as they can possibly be. As Hernandez singles with 1 away in the 4th. And that's the 5th Rockies hit. And that leads us to our AT&T trivia. Prior to 2011, when was the last time Major League Baseball and the NFL MVP played in the same state? So we touched on it briefly. Has not been done in a while.
That's a good one. That is.
You got to think Bay Area. That's the hint we'll give you. But It's been a while since we've seen MVPs in the same state from the NFL and Major League Baseball, and Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP for the Packers. Of course, in baseball you have MVPs in each league, so there are 2 most valuable player awards.
Doesn't make it less easy that much. I mean, you would think a state like California would have that. There's so many teams. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Braun, that's unusual.
We were talking to Ryan Braun before the game about that fact, just kind of going through some of the superlatives, and he asked the question. He's like, when has that ever happened before? He and Aaron Rodgers are very close. And we said, well, let's dig up some research on that. So we credit our guys down in the truck, coming up with some pretty cool information. We'll have that answer for you next half inning.
You're going to show me that list at some point today?
No. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Thing's been in front of you, for 3 hours.
I like the Norm Van Blockland and the Dick Groat connection. But that wasn't the last. That was 1960. The Pennsylvania. Some great names on this list. Herrera skies 1 to Morgan, and there is out number 2.
Can I at least see it after we answer the trivia question?
I'll think about that.
You won't let me look smart or appear to be smart?
I want you to be able to guess and feel good about your guess.
I'm not even going to give a guess. I would imagine, though, it was in the Barry Bonds era, perhaps.
Yes, that is a good guess. And I'll vouch for him. He hasn't seen a list. That would be a very good guess. Well, Bonds won 7, so
right. Yeah, I was going to say
pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Guthrie bounces out, and Weeks late to the bag. Gonzalez remembered how fast Guthrie is. They get the out, a scoreless inning. Ryan Braun will bat when we continue. It leads off in the bottom of the 4th. Milwaukee. And our carsoup.com email the booth question. Ryan Braun set to lead off. The question about Braun: what part of Braun's game impresses you more than any other? From Brent in Lancaster, Rock.
That's a tough one. That's like asking a mother who her favorite kid is. I mean, that's a tough one to answer. I mean, everything combined impresses you about Ryan. I think that the thing that surprises most people the most about Braun is the fact that he's so fast and can steal bases. And we talked about, Ryan, when he came on the air today, and just when you think he can't do anything to surprise you, he goes and steals 33 bags last year. But his base running, his speed, and just everything combined is something that not many organizations get a chance to see on a daily basis.
I think his power is surprising. And you look at a guy, for so many years, he and Prince Fielder standing side by side. You could expect that from Fielder. Braun hits him every bit as far as Prince does. He has as much power as anybody in the game. Maximizes that swing. He's so strong. His hands, his forearms, and he's able to use a much bigger bat than most, and generates a lot of bat speed with that big bat he uses, and he's able to hit him into the far reaches. Braun leads off 1-0 Colorado as we play in the bottom of the 4th. Jeremy Guthrie has surrendered just one hit. That was the double by Weeks last inning. The only other base runner was a walk, and Ryan Braun drew that walk on 4 straight. And it's 2-0. Speaking of Braun's power, last night it was a no-doubter. This one was high off the center field scoreboard, just under the scoreboard where our cameras are. 440-foot home run for Ryan Braun last night.
And almost hit one out his next time up. The pitch he hit out last night was down and in. The pitch that he knocked off the wall in left center was up and in. So all of a sudden Ryan's starting to get to that pitch when they're trying to crowd him inside.
Guthrie has pitched Braun very carefully in this game. See if Braun has the green light. He takes ball 4.
Well, you can't blame him. He was out in that bullpen watching the video of Braun last year. Said, I'm not throwing that guy strikes.
Back to our AT&T trivia. Prior to 2011, when was the last time the MLB and NFL MVP award winners played their home games in the same state? Like Rogers and Braun did. You got to go back to the 02 season. And this is the sneaky one. Rich Gannon.
Yeah.
Of the Oakland Raiders, and then Barry Bonds and Miguel Tejada MVP awards in both leagues, all from the Bay Area.
How many people without a computer would have gotten Rich Gannon on that?
I completely forgot Rich Gannon won an MVP award for the Oakland Raiders.
But all three, from California.
Prior to that, you can go back to the '92 season. Steve Young and Dennis Eckersley. Young, quarterback of the Niners, and Eckersley won the MVP with the Oakland Athletics. And until Verlander won the MVP last year as a pitcher, Eckersley was the last pitcher to win it. Which connects to Raleigh Fingers, who was the first reliever to ever win an MVP and a Cy Young award. And of course, that was as a Brewer in 1981.
Yeah, there's some great names on this list. Wow, this is great. Joe Montana, Ricky Henderson, Joe Theismann, and Cal Ripken. Now the great one though is in 1964, Johnny Unitas and Brooks Robinson. That's a great list.
And that's the Baltimore Colts, Baltimore Orioles. I remember the Terry Bradshaw, Dave Parker era, 1978 MVPs of their respective leagues. I believe they're on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
But I do appreciate you letting me see the list finally.
It's my pleasure.
I've been sitting over there for 2 hours.
We've been keeping it under wraps. If you're wondering, California with 6 MVP awards. The NFL MVP didn't begin until 1957, so that's the year we go back to. And Aaron Rodgers, that is, and Braun, their seasons last season. Braun had a 30-30 year, 33 home runs, 30 steals as well. And Rodgers.
How about the touchdown to interception ratio for Aaron Rodgers last year? My goodness. Wow.
And Wisconsin can brag about the 2. As Braun takes off and safe
Didn't
is
make
the
a
call.
tag. I don't know what Scudero was doing.
Ramirez is complaining to the home plate umpire about the called strike.
It should have been a strike him out, throw him out. Scudero caught the baseball, thought it was ball 4. He never made a tag. Well, you can't do that. No excuse for doing that. Now check it out. That pitch is low. I think that's what Scudero thought, but if he makes a tag, he's going to get Ryan at second base. Come on now, make a tag.
And Ramon Hernandez saying that as well. Well, the tying run at second. Here is Corey Hart now.
And it looked like Aramis Ramirez had a beef right there. That ball looked low. But you can't umpire from second base.
That's a break for Milwaukee. Third stolen base for Ryan Braun.
Not often you're going to see a veteran guy or even a young guy make that mistake. Doesn't cost anything to slap a tag, even if it is ball 4.
And now a base hit. The Brewers can tie it up. Changes the inning. Hart was a strikeout victim in the second inning. On the ground, Braun caught off second base, but the out is at first. Well, Herrera had a chance to get the lead runner. He takes the sure out. Hart retired. Braun still at second base. The Brewers fortunate to still have a runner in scoring position in this inning.
That's exactly what he did. Herrera did take the sure out. Now Ryan taking a couple of steps toward third, that ball in front of him, but a couple of misplays in the infield in this inning, and the Brewers still with a chance to tie it up.
You can see the Rocky strategy here. Don't let Braun beat you. He's walked twice, and that will continue to be a strategy if those who hit behind Braun don't produce. So it's up to Matt Gamble now. 2 outs in the inning. 1-0 Colorado. The Brewers still just 1 hit today. Gamble lined out sharply in the second inning. Lined out to first base. He's putting together some very good at-bats, Matt Gamble. That one is dumped into right field. A base hit. Here comes Braun. Here comes the throw. Late. Braun scores. Gamble to second. And we are tied at 1 as Matt Gamble again delivers.
They're off to a good start. The Rockies very helpful to the Brewers in this inning. Had 2 chances to get Ryan out of the bases, and they didn't do it. Now once again, Gamble able to pull their hands in and get to a pitch inside. And with Ryan Braun's speed, no way Kadai was going to throw him out. He should have gone to second base. And once again, good base running by Gamble to get into scoring position. He's a good base runner, really is.
Saw the throw, he took off and puts himself in a position as the go-ahead run to score on a base hit. Alex Gonzalez now. Two-out RBI single for Gamble. It's only the second hit of the ball game for Milwaukee. Both of the hits have come with 2 outs. Weeks' double in the third inning. And now Gamble's run producer. That's the 5th RBI for Gamble.
Well, the way ahead of last night. It was 12 up, 12 down first 4 innings against the Brewers in last night's game.
That's right. Drew Pomeranz, the big lefty for the Rockies. 4 perfect innings to start his night last night.
And then the Brewers exploded in the 5th. Put up a 9 spot against Colorado last night.
Bouncer to third, Herrera. And that is the inning. But the Brewers tie it up as Matt Gamble delivers a 2-out RBI hit.
Park time for crew in the community. The Milwaukee Brewers Score for Education program returns this season. The program focuses on school, community, opportunities, role models, and excellence. Score for Excellence Day. It's Monday, May 21st. For a program form and to enter your school, visit Brewers.com. Speaking of role models and excellence, let's go back to BA and Rock.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Impossible. Couldn't be more wronger. There's Matt Gamble, who tied this game. I'm always looking forward to that score event, though. You get to see players in a different context, and we're always out with the players on those particular days.
And you never know which one of the Brewers players is going to shine and really take to the whole program. And they all enjoy doing it. Every one of the guys gets out there in the community and talking to the kids.
Scutaro into center. Morgan runs it down for out number one.
Hey, today's Tavern of the Game winner is the Leprechaun Lounge in Milwaukee. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, the Leprechaun Lounge will get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. And no, I have not been to the Leprechaun Lounge. Doesn't mean to say I'm not going to. You always look at me like, have you been there?
Well, you're about a 50% success rate on the various taverns that come up.
Yeah, all over the state. I don't know if I should thank you for saying that or not.
Tyler Colvin with one away. Sunday afternoon at Miller Park. And Colvin into right. Hart is there for the catch. Nice catch. Corey Hart going over the shoulder.
That's some pretty well hit balls in this inning, both resulting in outs. One to center, a line drive to right. Always good to get the first two out in this order before you have to deal with Gonzalez and Tulowitzki. Hit it hard. Corey over to get it right at the warning track.
That helps to be 6-6. So two gone for Gallardo. And he's facing Carlos Gonzalez here, who is 0 for 2 against Giovanni. Giovanni struck him out in the third inning. Gonzalez missed 3 games earlier in the week due to strep throat. Returned to the lineup Tuesday. Jim Tracy's anxious to get him settled in. Little tapper. Got to hurry here. Weeks scoops and cannot get it out of his glove. Not in time for the out. Gonzalez beats it down the line.
He just opened the door for Tulowitzki now with a man on base. Probably think it's going to be an error. You know, Ricky gets rid of that baseball right away. It's going to be an out. Had it in plenty of time, just didn't get the handle, and that will be an E4. Well, you hate to see that with Tulowitzki coming to the plate. Bang, bang.
Goes the way of the Rockies. E4 is the call. And the third error for Ricky Weeks this season. Now Tulowitzki at the plate. And you got to be careful with those high fastballs. You feast on those.
And usually he goes after him. First pitch.
Tulowitzki has a hit today. He singled in the first inning. And in this series, he is 5 for 10 thus far. Strike 2. Gallardo right back in there. Tulowitzki had one of the 3 hits in the first inning. The run scoring inning for the Rockies today. Gallardo's given up just 2 hits since, and both singles.
It might be an opportunity to pitch out for the Brewers. Ahead in the count 0-2. Carlos Gonzalez loves to steal bases and like to get into scoring position.
Lucroy held it there for a minute. Wanted the call from the home plate umpire Todd Tishner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. The slugging shortstop of the Rockies. 2-2. Tulowitzki has been a perennial MVP candidate. He's one of 3 players, along with Ryan Howard and Albert Pujols, to finish in the top 10 in the NL MVP voting each of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, catchers do not like it when you set up inside and then have a pitcher throw over, because the hitter gets a sense for that. As soon as Yo threw to first, Lucroy got up and kind of moved over. He doesn't want Tulowitzki to know he's coming inside.
And Lucroy sets up back inside, and there's a called strike 3. Gallardo finds the edge on the inner half. Inning over. And a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers Baseball Club. Packed house, Miller Park on a Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. Temperature's still a little cool to have the roof open. Temperatures in the 50s right now. Jonathan Lucroy leads off in a 1-1 game.
Another nice thing about the little bit of a cloud cover, not much of a shadow issue today here at Miller Park. Players like that.
Now the Brewers finally got on the board in the 5th inning last night after being shut out through the first 4. Scoring a run in the bottom of the 4th on a Gamble 2-out RBI single to tie it. Lucroy in the air to right. Backing up on it, Kadire. And there's out number 1. Let's take it back to the 4th. Braun walked for the 2nd time in the game. And then Ramirez struck out. Scuderow didn't put the tag on Braun. Hernandez saying, "What are you doing?"
He thought it was ball 4. Then Ryan making a mistake going toward third with the ball hit in front of him. They could have got him there, and then Matt Gamble makes him pay. He made the Rockies pay for 2 mistakes they could have gotten wrong on the bases twice.
It's one of those sequences, there's no error that shows up, but it was a mishandled half inning defensively for the Colorado Rockies, and it led to a run.
And a poor defense that cost your pitcher an earned run. And the lead, more importantly.
Gallardo, good hitting pitcher. His first time up, he popped up to the shortstop. A defensive swing had him fooled at Guthrie. Now and just missed. 2 opening day starters hooking up today at Miller Park. Jeremy Guthrie and Giovanni Gallardo. Guthrie's win came in his first start of the season against the Houston Astros. Another pop up, this time towards third, foul territory. Herrera for out number 2.
Hey, this month the Brewers are bringing back the unique Brewers Win You Win promotion. Every Brewers victory this month will result in $1 off a Terrace box ticket for any game of the series against the Reds set for May 7th through the 9th. Tickets will go on sale beginning Tuesday, May 1st at 9 a.m. So far, the Brewers have won 7 games in April. So $7 comes off the price of the tickets as of right now.
Back to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks. He has one of the 2 Milwaukee hits. He doubled with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Was stranded at second. And we were talking about Jeremy Guthrie and a pitcher looking for run support, hoping he has found it in the Colorado Rockies. In the American League, he took over in the rotation in 07. So since 07 in the American League, the 5th fewest run support in the AL. He was just getting 4.46 runs per game. The statistics don't mean a whole lot, other than it tells you that Guthrie probably pitched a lot better than his numbers showed in that American League East.
I was saying last year, I mean, a 4.33 ERA in that division with the Red Sox, the Yankees, Toronto. I mean, there's some pretty good hitting ball clubs there, and he was 9-17.
Ricky Weeks pops it up. And a nice and easy 3-up, 3-down inning for Jeremy Guthrie. Another pitcher's duel at Miller Park. We're going to the 6th. All tied at 1. And we want to remind you that the Brewers and Bucks will be shown live simultaneously tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brewers and Astros right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin at 6:30. Bucks Raptors will be on the alternate channel starting at 6:30 as well. Just log on to foxsportswisconsin.com to get more information. You get channel listings whoever your cable carrier is. All that information's at foxsportswisconsin.com. To the 6th we go at Miller Park, all tied at 1, and Jason Giambi leads off on the first pitch in the first inning that he saw from Gallardo. He drove one into right field for an RBI single.
Yeah, change up for a hit. He struck him out in a change up, and he just started him with a curveball. Obviously not wanting to challenge Giambi too much with his heater. Not for strikes.
Jason Giambi, a former MVP, our MVP discussion today. High and tight. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Giambi won his MVP as a member of the Oakland Athletics in 2000. And then his teammate Tejada in 02. That was when Giambi left for the Yankees. In tight. Almost got him. 3 balls and a strike on Giambi. If you'd have said to Jason Giambi in 2009, you're going to go to the Rockies. They traded him from Oakland that year. And you'd still be in the National League at the age of 41 4 years later, I think he'd have laughed at you. But he's found a nice niche with Jim Tracy as the skipper.
And he can really only do that, in the National League. Come off the bench, a pinch hitter. They play once a week for Helton. Hey, for $24, get the Rock the Ballpark package that includes a ticket to the select Brewers home games, a Summerfest ticket, and a T-shirt. Visit brewers.com/Summerfest.
I think for Giambi and a guy like Jim Thome, who's back in the National League with the Phillies, the only reason you're able to stay on a National League roster, you have to make a commitment to play the field. And Giambi does that once a week. And I think Thome, who I don't even think he even owned a glove for the last 4 or 5 years. When he went to Philadelphia, he said, I'm willing to do it again. He understands the role, and can't just have a guy off the bench in the National League. It doesn't work.
Well, for the money they pay guys to come off the bench, I think you can throw them out there once in a while. That's a pretty good trade-off, wouldn't you say? Bank a couple of $1 million, you play first base, maybe once a week.
And where it really shows up is when you get into a pennant race, and especially in the postseason, that veteran bat. That's why Jerry Hairston was so valuable last year. Now, he played a lot of positions, but to have that veteran presence on the bench.
And you have to if you hope to get to the postseason. You don't want young kids, first, second year coming off the bench in the ninth inning in tough situations. They're not used to doing it. It's the more experienced players that are good at that.
1-2 on Kadire. And on the corner, a called strike 3. Kadire is rung up. Todd Tishner has been calling that pitch, and Gallardo has obliged.
Yep, a bit of a larger zone. The umpires would disagree, but when a guy's calling a pitch on the corner like that, it's unusual. None of the pitchers seem to have an issue with that strike zone. Some hitters have, though. Ramos Ramirez got rung up on a pitch that he thought was low. Tulowitzki didn't like the call on him, and now Kadire.
For the second time, Kadire got rung up in the first as well. So 2 outs. Gallardo looking for a quick inning here. Ramon Hernandez, who singled off Giovanni in the 4th inning. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 6th, the Brewers will have Morgan lead off, and then Braun and Ramirez. If anybody gets on, Corey Hart. Gallardo has 6 strikeouts and has allowed just 1 walk. Another one on the corner. Slider from Gallardo. Ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, 2 good pitches on the outside corner. He's got him set up inside. Let's see if he goes there. You know, Todd Tishner has had a relatively generous inside corner, not so much an outside corner.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the Rockies catcher. Down he goes. Gallardo punches him out. Back-to-back called strike 3s. Very efficient 6th inning for Gallardo. He's getting stronger. All tied at 1. Brewers ace dialed in now. Reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. On Friday, April 27th, the Timber Rattlers return to Miller Park when they host a matchup with the Dayton Dragons, some of the top young prospects in the Brewers system. All tickets are just $10. Visit brewers.com or call 414-902-4000 to order. The Brewers single A affiliate in Appleton. The T-Rats, they'll be here at Miller Park. That'll be a thrill for those players to play in a big league stadium. Good baseball as well. To the 6th we go. Nigel Morgan leads off. Ryan Braun to follow. And then a Ramos Ramirez, Jeremy Guthrie, and Giovanni Gallardo hooked up in a dandy so far. Guthrie's given up just 2 hits. But one of them was a run-producing hit by Matt Gamble in the 4th. It came with 2 away in the inning. And there's another strike. Morgan has showed bunt twice and has pulled it back to take 2 strikes from Guthrie.
Well, you do it the first time, perhaps to bring the third baseman in, so maybe you could slap one by him. I just didn't like the pitch the second time.
Morgan trying to reach base for Braun. Braun has not had an at-bat in this game with a runner on base. Down and in, 2-2 on Morgan. Nigel Morgan is a very confident player, but it has to be a challenge to keep your confidence up when you're off to such a slow start offensively. Just 5 for 41 this year at the plate. Pulls that one foul.
Well, and he's been swinging the bat. I mean, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, he's hit some balls fairly hard. I mean, you're only got 5 hits. There, he's obviously, not, where he wants to be. But there have been times throughout the year where he's hit the ball right on the nose, unfortunately, right at somebody.
Morgan, a little bouncer, and Tulowitzki, tough play, throw is in time. Nobody makes that one better than Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, you talk about a max effort shortstop. When he gets the ball in his hand, I mean, he winds up and lets one fly. He's got 6 errors. 5 of them have been throwing errors. And he gives you everything he has every time he throws a baseball. It's a good play right here. Able to surround it, and off balance sidearm throw right on the money. And you thought once that ball got by Herrera that Roger had a chance to beat it, but he got him by a step.
Not a lot of guys can make that strong of a throw off balance like that. One of the best throwing arms in baseball, Tulowitzki. So here's Braun once again batting with nobody on. He has walked twice. Guthrie has not shown that he wants to even put one near the strike zone with Braun at the plate. Walked him on 4 straight his last time up.
I don't think he's seen a strike, has he?
I don't believe so. He walked him on 4 straight in the first. Braun had just 4 walks prior to this game this year, and he's walked twice today. He scored the only run for Milwaukee in the 4th. He walked, he stole a base, scored on the 2-out Gamble hit. There's a strike. Does Guthrie give him something to hit? Breaking ball. Braun pops it up. And Giambi hauls it in for out number 2 as we check in with Mark Concannon. Mark?
BA with some of his hitters struggling early like Aramis Ramirez. Ron Renicky this morning talking about why some guys traditionally get off to slow starts. Renicky said there's no rhyme or reason for it, and he tries to get those guys more at-bats in spring training, but that doesn't always help. But the skipper says sometimes just one at-bat can turn a guy around, and he's hoping that will happen for Ramirez soon, perhaps right here.
Now Ramirez gets his shot with 2 outs, and he lifts that one deep to left. That one is hooking, though, and it is a foul ball. Had plenty of carry, just got out ahead of it.
I tell you, that ball stayed fair. I would have gone down and had Mark Concannon buy me some lottery tickets. Well done. Well, just a little bit out in front of it, way out of here, but hooks it foul.
An easy call. Well, the book on Renicky and Mark's report from Ron earlier today. I remember Dale Swaim talking about Ron Renicky as being such a positive force in that clubhouse. As Ramirez goes down the right field line, that is a fair ball. To the corner it goes. Ramirez into second with a double. A 2-out double. And maybe that will be the at-bat that gets him turned around.
Man, that's exactly what you want to see. He hooks one way foul to left and then kind of regroups and lets that ball get to him and shoots it right down the right field line. That's a good piece of hitting, and perhaps that might be the pitch in the at-bat that might get him going. Taking a pitch hard to right.
Mark it down, see where he goes from here. Stand-up double for Ramirez. Here's Corey Hart now with a chance to give the Brewers the lead. As good as Renicky is in the game management side and the way he puts the strategy together, players talk about the positive influence. He doesn't let him get down. He's constantly, whether it be Ron himself or through his coaches, reminding these players of how good they are.
Well, you see him in the clubhouse, before and after games, going around talking to guys. giving a pat on the back, and during batting practice he'll roam around the outfield and have a chat with his players just to see how they're doing. That communication, very important, especially when a guy's not going real well. You don't have to say much to a guy that's swinging the bat good. He doesn't need it. The other guys that need it.
There's ball 4. Walked him on 4 straight. Corey Hart is aboard. And here comes Matt Gamble again. That gets Bob Apodaca out of his seat in the dugout. The Rockies pitching coach is on his way out. Quick trip to the mound for Apodaca. Didn't miss by much. He went with a 3-0 breaking ball, though.
And sometimes 3-0 curveballs fool umpires.
Yeah, good point.
And I would imagine Todd Tishner didn't like the response or the reaction to that call. Guthrie with his hand up, wondering what's going on out there. And home plate umpire has been a pitcher's umpire tonight, in my opinion, or today.
So Tishner breaks up the meeting. And now 2 on for Matt Gamble. Big opportunity for the Brewers. Gamble delivered in the 4th. RBI single, his 5th run batted into the season. Ramirez at second, Hart at first. Gamble lifts one high in the air, left center. Back is Colvin. He's got it for the out. Inning over. Brewers strand a pair. Still 1-1 going to the 7th. To you by Toyota. Another pitcher's duel here. Didn't start out that way. Looked like the Rockies brought the bats. 3 hits and a run in the first inning. Giambi drove in the first one. Guthrie cruising along. Didn't allow a hit until the 3rd. Gallardo then settled down. And Giovanni has 7 strikeouts now through 6 innings. He's only given up 1 walk thus far. The Brewers managed to tie it up on a Gamble RBI single in the 4th. That's where we sit. 1-1 going to the 7th. Both starters pitching well. Gallardo racking up a ton of strikeouts. For Guthrie, 2 of those 3 walks have come to Ryan Braun. Jonathan Herrera leads off. Colorado down at the bottom of their batting order. Herrera batting in the 8th spot. And the pitcher Guthrie due to hit next. Another sellout today at Miller Park. 42,611. A great crowd that Saw Ryan Braun receive his MVP trophy, a ceremony before the game. And Robin Yao joining us today. He was here to present the trophy to Ryan. And once again here at Miller Park, we are hooked up in a close game. Now, the Brewers won 9-4 yesterday, but that was a 6-run seventh last night, a late surge. The other 4 games on this homestand have all been decided by 1 run. There's a liner into right center, a base hit. Herrera starts the 7th with a single.
Yeah, first time in the ball game that the Rockies have been able to get their leadoff hitter on. Yeah, Gallardo's done a nice job of getting that first out. It makes your job out there much easier.
Now Guthrie up there to bunt, most likely. Colorado pitcher. And he gets a good bunt down. Gamble makes the play for the out. Sacrifice bunt for Jeremy Guthrie. And the Rockies have the go-ahead run in scoring position now.
And once again, Gallardo's pitch count in pretty good shape as we're in the 7th. He's at 98 pitches. That's outstanding. Very efficient since the first inning.
Back to the top of the order, Marco Scutaro, and this is his 4th at bat against Gallardo. Bullpen is quiet for now. Gallardo has had back-to-back 7-inning performances.
That outside corner for Todd Tishner not nearly as generous as the inside corner. And he's hearing it from somebody in that Brewers dugout. Good eyes and good ears for umpires.
He's had his head on a swivel today. He's been getting it from both dugouts. Pitchers are loving it, though, for the most part. Ball and a strike on Scutaro.
They always know that, umpires set up between the catcher and the hitter. And they have a real good look at that inside corner, whether it's a left-handed batter or right-handed. They set up in a slot. They see the inside pitch much better than they do, or more clearly than the outside pitch. And that inside corner has been wide open for these pitchers all day.
Gallardo has a number of strikeouts on that corner. That one went away, a slider from Gallardo, and Scutaro is down a ball and 2 strikes. Gallardo has 7 strikeouts, but the last 3 strikeouts have been called strike threes. Actually 4 called strike threes in this game, including the last 3. See if he goes back in there. Nope, outside this time. He missed. 2-2. Gallardo trying to wrestle up one last finishing kick. He's up over 100 pitches now. Jose Veras now throwing in the Brewers bullpen. Just getting started. So you figure Gallardo's going to have at least 2 more hitters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 now. Prior to this game, Scutaro had just 2 career at-bats against Gallardo. He was 0 for 2. And he's 1 for 3 today. Spent the last 2 seasons with Boston. Got him. Gallardo dots the corner. Scutaro is rung up.
Oh, what a beauty right there. I mean, he went outside knowing that home plate umpire hasn't been given much on that corner, but that one had the plate, and Todd Tishner rings him up for strikeout number 8 for Yo. That's a beauty. He's at over 100 pitches and still has the velocity and the command.
Strikeout number 8, and his last 4 Ks now called strike 3s. 2 outs, a big out to get. Tyler Colvin at the plate with a runner at second. In a 1-1 game, Colvin bouncer back to Gonzalez. Tough hop, no problem. Inning over. Gallardo is through 7 with 8 Ks. See if the Brewers can get some offense together and give him a chance at a win. Now we turn it over to Bless America.
As we honor our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, led by the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
Right about now, 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Time now for our social media hit as you follow us on Twitter, FS at FS Wisconsin. And this is an interesting one today as Ryan Braun gets his MVP. Ryan Braun And Aaron Rodgers, good friends, of course. Aaron Rodgers won the MVP with the Packers. When was the last time an NFL and Major League MVPs happened in the same state that only one pro team came from? Obviously, that eliminates some of the big cities, but we dug deep. Johnny Unitas and Brooks Robinson, 1964, Baltimore, the Colts and the Orioles. How about that for a little digging in a good question?
Nice. Yeah, you're setting new parameters, you know, for the search engine. Well done, Craig. Well done. Tied at 1. As Craig mentioned, another tight game. Boy, every game on this homestand at this point of the game has been close.
Craig doing a nice job out there. You got people screaming at him while he's doing his hit out there.
That's a tough spot out there on that table.
Well, you know he can handle it.
Yeah, he's built for it. Now looking forward to Brewers Live following the game. Craig and Davey will have our post-game show. Brewers Live. Rock will be down with an instructional. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gonzalez. Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki for out number 1. Now here comes Jonathan Lucroy on his bobblehead day. Let's see if he can make a memory here. The bobblehead looks just like him.
Yes, it does. It's a very good likeness.
Sometimes they're, you know, they're questionable, but not this one. Whoever made this one, they've gotten the essence of Jonathan Lucroy. And a liner to third. Caught by Herrera. 2 outs. Tough break for Lucroy.
Yeah, he's hit the ball well. The last 2 times up, he hit one pretty well into deep right field. Back in the 6th, and a first pitch curveball, and Herrera able to handle it. Tough break.
This was earlier, by the way. This is not live, but Jonathan had his bobblehead. I mean, you think, well, he's taken that line drive out pretty well. But no, that was on tape.
The fact that there's no other players and there's some females in the dugout, is that your...
Just didn't want to misrepresent what's going on here.
Right. It'd be interesting to have that dugout looking like that in the 7th inning. Nice and clean.
So Guthrie with 2 outs, and Rock, a move has been made here. Reneke's going to pull Gallardo back, and Travis Ishikawa will pinch hit for Giovanni. That'll close the book on Gallardo with 7 strong innings today.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding. The way he started, you wondered how long his day was going to be. 3 hits, a run, but he settled down nicely like the pro he is. And you get Ishikawa up there, guy with some power from the left side, and maybe he can run into one here.
Ishikawa got his first start on Wednesday against the Dodgers, or checked that Thursday, and responded with 2 hits. As a pinch hitter this year, Ishikawa is hitless. He's 0 for 4. Very small sample size. But you know, he'd love nothing more than to give Gallardo a lead, give him a chance to win a game today. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 and 2 on Ishikawa.
Yeah, Guthrie's had good command of the changeup. I should say the slider. That was down and in on Ishikawa. He's been throwing hard. You're talking about Gallardo and how well he's pitched. Guthrie, good job bouncing back from 2 bad starts.
Back inside. Here's the 1-2, and Ishikawa got in on the hands. Long run for Colvin. He's there, and the inning is over. 3 up and 3 down for Jeremy Guthrie. Yankees. 6:30 is airtime for Monday and Tuesday's game. Wednesday is a start just afternoon. The Astros are beating up on the Dodgers today, 10-0. Giovanni Gallardo is out. Our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. Gallardo, I wouldn't say had his ace stuff today, but Rocky still managed 7 innings and 1 earned run.
Well, for 5 of those 7 innings, I think he threw as well as we've seen him throw, but a shaky start, and that's what makes Gallardo such a special pitcher. He's only 26 years old, but he comes out of the bullpen, gives up 3 hits and a run, and completely turns his day around in the 2nd inning. So 1 walk, 8 strikeouts for Yo, 106 pitches. A good day at the office for Gallardo.
Most strikeouts he's had this season. It had been 7. And the Gallardo is out and unfortunately will not factor in the decision. Frankie Rodriguez will have the 8th in a tie game, all even at 1. Rodriguez will have to go through the heart of this Colorado batting order, starting with Carlos Gonzalez. As K-Rod hits the bull. The updated ERA for Gallardo after his 7 innings today is 3.65. He's been able to whittle that down after a rough first start against the Cardinals, giving up 6 earned runs. So good for him to get that into normal Gallardo territory. There's a bender in there for a strike. Yeah, the Astros destroying the Dodgers today. Billingsley was roughed up for 9 runs, 5 of them earned. It's 10-0 Houston in the 8th inning. So the Astros are revved up, coming to town tomorrow. Hop up, will it stay playable? Lucroy giving it a look at the rail. He's got it for the out. And a big bat retired for K-Rod. Nice play, Jonathan Lucroy. And our Ho-Chunk text question concerns Lucroy. Is it hard on your body to play a day game after a night game? Steve asks.
No, and not when you're young. Not like, a guy like Lucroy. He's a guy that's very capable of going day game after night game. As you get older, I mean, managers have a tendency to rest a guy. Yadier Molina, will routinely catch a day game after a night game. And nothing to it. I think it's more taxing mentally on a catcher. The quick turnaround. These guys are in great shape. I mean, that's not an issue. That's particularly in the month of April.
And Lucroy, just 25 years of age. He'll be 26.
You get into August and September, it might be a little bit different, but he did it last year.
So those young legs. He turns 26 in June. And as far as Renicky is concerned, it has more to do with who's pitching, because the other catcher, George Kataris, catches Randy Wolf.
Yeah, it won't be an issue, next time the Brewers have a day game. That's Wednesday. Wolfie will pitch on Tuesday, the night game, and then Lucroy will come back and catch the Wednesday afternoon game.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. Lucroy trying to navigate K-Rod through this 8th inning. Dangerous hitter even with 2 strikes. And a bouncer over to third. Ramirez, tough play, throw to first, scooped, and safe is the call. Tulowitzki beat it out. That'll be an infield hit. The Brewers did all they could defensively to make that play.
Man, Tulowitzki surprises you with his speed. Out in front, he had a head start out of the box. And a good throw over to Gamble, and he beat it. That's a good call by first base umpire Brian Gorman. He beat it. Good pick by Gamble, though.
So it's an infield hit. And the Rockies have the go-ahead run aboard. All tied at 1 in the 8th. It has been tied since the 4th. The Rockies have not scored since the 1st. Giambi. Inside corner strike. Boy, a great confrontation here, huh? Home run hitter Francisco Rodriguez A historically good closer.
A little bit of experience between the two of them.
Giambi, 41 years of age. You think about K-Rod, he's been in the big leagues 11 years. He's only 30.
Yeah.
K-Rod was in the major leagues at the age of 20. Down in the dirt.
How about that play?
Some kind of play by Luke Croy.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about the catchers and how they've improved. You know, defensively, there's a perfect example of it. And I'll tell you that's a tough pitch to block. Look how far in front of home plate that is, and look at the way he keeps that throwing arm close to his body and able to smother it. That's a big play right there. That's well done by Jonathan. Not easy.
Three and one now to Giambi. Giambi has 11 career at-bats against K-Rod, has 2 hits. Runner goes, and the pitch is low, ball 4. First and second for Colorado. Giambi draws the walk. And now K-Rod will have to deal with Michael Kadire. Tough spot here. Rodriguez with 2 on and 1 away. Brewers in desperate need of a ground ball here to turn 2, but Rodriguez not necessarily a ground ball pitcher.
Well, you can credit Troy Tulowitzki with good hustle down the line on that weak ground ball to third base. That's why the Rockies are in this spot.
That one's hit well into the gap. Big trouble here. That's going to go to the wall. Tulowitzki scores easily. Giambi racing around third. And he'll score without a throw. A 2 RBI double, Michael Kadire. And the Rockies have the lead 3-1.
Well, you knew it was trouble with Kadire up at the plate. Hitless on the day. And an infield hit and a walk, and he drives them in, both of them in. Fastball right down the middle, and Kadire hammers it into the gap. And Jason Giambi able to score from first base.
Three to 1 Colorado as Kadire drives in runs number 10 and 11. He has been Colorado's best run producer this year. What a pickup. Ramon Hernandez now. This sellout crowd at Miller Park hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about. Brewers have just 1 run on 3 hits. They'll have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 8th. K-Rod trying to limit the damage here. That one's in there. 1 and 2 on the Colorado catcher.
And Hernandez upset with himself. He was looking for a breaking pitch, and K-Rod threw one very hittable. Almost right down the middle. Took it.
It's been a struggle for K-Rod this year to start the season. This is the 3rd occasion where he has allowed at least 2 runs in an outing. He took a loss in Atlanta, giving up 2 runs in a 1/3 of an inning. And a blown save against the Dodgers on this homestand. Brewers were able to come back and win that game. That was Tuesday night.
And those things are put under the microscope much more when your team's not scoring a bunch of runs. I mean, 1 run on the board for Milwaukee. You got a reliever coming in. He gives up a couple of runs, and all of a sudden, 2-run lead looks like a pretty big deficit.
Now, normally, Rodriguez starts an inning, so you can read a little more into his ERA than most relief pitchers. Those who come in give up runs. Pitchers close play at second base. Kadire is back. K-Rod's ERA at 5.14 coming in. Two balls, 2 strikes on Hernandez. Rockies have the lead 3-1. Little flare. Gonzalez makes the catch. Oh, baby. What a play that was. Not only had to deal with a baseball, but Ricky Weeks plowing across him as well.
He didn't pay much attention to Ricky and almost overran it, but able to reach back and haul it in. Check it out. You can't even see him in the shot. He was shaded in the hole, and look at him go back and makes it look easy. He's some kind of defender at shortstop. Never takes his eye off the baseball and in the webbing.
And not even looking at the baseball, just the way he had to position his body. He's looking out into the outfield to get that extra extension. Just has a great feel for the game, great sense of where the baseball is going to be.
And where he is. He always knows exactly where first base is on throws to first, and sometimes doesn't even look before he gets rid of the baseball. He knows where it is. Spinning around, and it's instinctive.
That caught a piece of Lucroy. No balls, 2 strikes on Herrera. I mean, there was a decision there for Gonzalez. He either has to take his eye off it, take a stab at it with his glove hand. Caught it right in the webbing. No balls, 2 strikes on Jonathan Herrera, Colorado's 8th place hitter. And he popped him up. Nigel Morgan. And the side retired, but the Rockies get 2. A great play by the shortstop Alex Gonzalez makes it just 2. Another look on the way out.
the bottom of the 8th inning, top of the order, and Ricky Weeks is up. And, Davey, this is the part of the lineup that you want to see do some damage that has had a tough time getting it done this year.
Well, they certainly have. They did it last night in that 7th inning, but it's got to be starting to get on a consistent basis. You start getting a little concerned when that top of the order is not producing.
All right, we'll see what they can get done here. Davey Nash standing by, getting ready for Brewers Live postgame on the way. We'll get inside the clubhouse, hear from the manager, Ron Renicky, as well, all coming up after the ballgame. Brewers Live, Brian.
All right, Craig, Davey, thank you. The new pitcher is the left-hander Rex Brothers. And he'll face Ricky Weeks to start this inning. The Rockies have made a couple of defensive changes as well. Dexter Fowler will enter the game in center field, and that moves Tyler Colvin over to first base. So the Rockies tighten up their defense. They have a 3-1 lead, scoring twice against Francisco Rodriguez. Top of the Brewers order against the left-hander Brothers.
Yeah, the hard-throwing lefty, he gets it up there in the mid-90s. Appeared in 48 games last year for the Rockies. He was a setup man and had a .288 earned run average, appearing in his 7th game already this year.
This is a guy the Rockies are grooming to be a closer, perhaps. And you can see by the fastball, and he has more than 96, believe me. He can bring it. You don't see many left-handed closers in the game of baseball. Well, the Rockies feel like they have a lot of talent. They have relievers with great stuff, but inexperience until they get to Betancourt in that closer's role. Matt Belisle is loosening in the bullpen as well. The Rockies are going to take their chances with their young pitchers.
Yeah, a lot of inexperience throughout the bullpen and inexperience in the closer's role for Betancourt. He's been around a long time, but has not been a closer. And this has been a problem spot for Jim Tracy, his bullpen.
Brewers need a base runner. They trail by 2. And Weeks had a big cut. 3-2 the count. Brothers was quick to the big leagues. He was drafted in 09. He was a first rounder. And was in the big leagues last year, as Rock mentioned. So really just one full season of minor league baseball before he arrived to the big leagues. He's been tough to handle this year. Down and in, ball 4. There's the base runner you're looking for. Weeks is aboard for the second time. Both starters out. Time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery for the 2. Guthrie as fast as 96. Gallardo topped out at 93. Both pitchers went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Gallardo will not factor the decision. Guthrie has a chance to win if his bullpen can close it out.
Always good to get your leadoff hitter aboard. The 2 times today that the Brewers have had their leadoff hitter on, it was a walk. A leadoff walk in the 4th. Ryan Braun, he came around to score.
Carlos Gomez will pinch hit for Ron Renicky. He'll bat for Nyjer Morgan. Gomez is 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. Ryan Braun in the on-deck circle. Tying run at the plate. And Gomez takes a ball down and in. Jim Tracy was talking about Miller Park, and the Brewers are tough to beat at home because they never feel like they're out of it at this park with the big crowds. 2-0 the count. And the sellout crowd revving it up a little bit.
Yep, 95, 96 doesn't help you too much. You're not throwing it over the plate. Guthrie, his first 2 pitches to Gomez, not even close. We saw some control problems from the Rockies bullpen last night.
Well, I'm no lip reader, but looked like Bob Apodaca was challenging Brothers to get after Carlos Gomez. Talking about, fastball. Use your fastball.
Yeah, Gomez likes the fastball, particularly with a 2-0 count.
And there is the fastball, and he put it right where Apodaca wanted it. Right on the inside corner. It's 2-1. Weeks takes his lead at first. And Gomez squirts one into right field. A base hit. Weeks will stop at second. The throw comes in. Weeks is back. Rally started here. Gomez with a base hit. And here comes the reigning MVP representing the go-ahead run.
Yeah, good job by Gomez. He fought it off. The pitcher is middle in, and when he's got the count in his favor, I tell you, he can handle a fastball and able to muscle it out into right field. And a quick shower for Rex Brothers, and here comes Jim Tracy. Hey, don't be caught on the bases, down by 2. Stay right there, Ricky.
Gomez keeps his terrific hitting going today. And now 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Matt Belisle, tough setup man for the Rockies, will enter the game. We'll take a break. Well, the stage is set. Ryan Braun will bat, representing the go-ahead run, bottom of the 8th. 2 on to start this inning, and Jim Tracy goes to his very reliable setup man, Matt Belisle.
Yeah, he pitched on Friday night here at Miller Park and struck out the only 2 batters that he faced. And it looked pretty good. Fastball slider for Belisle.
Ryan Braun at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Walked twice. He's 0 for 1. Lifetime against Belisle, he is 4 for 8. Good speed on the bags. Tying run over at first. And Belisle with that devastating cut fastball. A lot of pitchers throw it, very few master it. Belisle is one that has good command of it.
And that success, Matt Belisle very well aware of that. That's why he started him out with a curveball.
In tight, 2 balls, no strikes. On Friday night, Belisle came in with Braun coming up. He struck out Braun, then followed it up with a strikeout of Ramirez to end the threat in the 8th inning. Rockies would go on to win that game. Two and nothing on Braun. Oh, he had a big cut. Took a swat at it.
Yeah, pitch a little bit upstairs, but Ryan tried to tomahawk it out of here. Up belt high, big swing.
Now it's 2-1. A ceremony before the game today. Braun receiving his MVP trophy from the two-time MVP, Robin Yount. Trying to bookend the day, perhaps. He's been known to deliver in moments like this. Braun homered yesterday. Also had a triple in yesterday's game. Two and two. That's the pitch that has made Belisle so successful the last few years.
It just has such a late break on it that hitters can't really recognize it early enough to be able to either get a good swing at it or lay off of it.
Now Braun, a tough spot. He's done a lot of damage with 2 strikes, though, in his career. The 2-2, and that is a foul ball. Got a piece of the bat. Ricky Weeks started the inning with a walk against Rex Brothers. Gomez singled. Tracy made the move to Belisle. 2-2 with Aramis Ramirez on deck. And Braun off the end of the bat. Tyler Colvin is there for the out. And a big out for Matt Belisle to get. Braun retired.
Yeah, after falling behind 2-0, he's able to go after him with a variety of different breaking pitches. They got the 2-0. Then Brawny Chase looked like ball 3 a little bit upstairs, trying to knock one out of here. And then it was a steady diet of breaking pitches for strikes and able to get him on the pop-up.
So now it is Aramis Ramirez, 1 out with runners at first and second. Ramirez awaiting his signature moment as a Brewer so far this season. Rockies keeping Weeks close at second base. Ramirez into right center field, and it is going to be caught. Throw to second is cut off. They were so deep. Kadire made that play. It was in the air forever, but he was playing on the warning track. Out number 2, Ramirez retired.
And back-to-back at-bats for Ramirez, where he's hit the ball hard to right.
Now Matt Belisle has retired Braun and Ramirez. The runners are still at first and second. It's going to be up to Corey Hart with 2 outs. Looking ahead to the Rockies' 9th inning. They'll have the 9 spot in the batting order to lead off, which will be Dexter Fowler, and then back to the top, Scutaro and Colvin. Hart is 0 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. Looking for a mistake from Belisle. And it's 0-2. Steady diet of breaking stuff from Belisle.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? I mean, that breaking pitch is about as good as it gets. The later that pitch can break, tougher it is on the hitter.
One and 2 on Hart. That was a good take. Belisle has been on his game this year. Started his career with the Reds. Now in his 4th year as a Rocky. They signed him to a contract extension prior to the season. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, and down goes Hart. Matt Belisle. Wow. Retires Braun, Ramirez, and Hart. The Brewers strand 2. Three to 1 Colorado, and Willie Peralta ready to make his major league debut. You see his numbers from AAA Nashville. He pitched in 3 games, all starts, had a 2.12 earned run average. So one of the Brewers' top pitching prospects. In our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game, Willie Peralta's major league debut.
Yeah, it's been a week. Last Sunday against New Orleans, 6 innings, 1 run. Walked a batter, struck out 3, and no decision. And a 3-2, 13-inning win for Nashville. We've seen a lot of Willie Peralta in spring training. He's got good stuff. Just a matter of being able to, get it done at the major league level. A good opportunity for him here in the 9th.
Carlos Gomez stays in to play center field. He pinch hit for Nigel Morgan. Promising inning for the Brewers. They have 2 on with Braun coming up. Tip your hat to Matt Belisle. The guy has been outstanding this year. Hasn't allowed hardly anything all season.
Yeah, 2 appearances. The Brewers have not been able to figure him out.
Belisle's only given up 1 hit all year in his 7 games for the Rockies. So we go to the 9th. And the Rockies lead it. Michael Kadire had the 2 RBI double in the 8th inning off K-Rod. It was Kadire who had the game-winning hit in Friday night's Rockies win. That was a 9th inning pinch hit single. So the former Twin doing some damage to the Brewers in this series. Peralta's first major league pitch is a ball low. Dexter Fowler's first at bat. Fowler came in on the double switch last inning.
Well, Peralta with a wide range of pitches that he's able to throw for strikes. Throws in the low 90s. Commands the fastball pretty well.
That'll be in the first row. Ramirez. A long way to go. Two balls and a strike. Well, he looks calm. You know his heart's racing here. 3 balls and a strike on Fowler. It's not just the fact that it's his major league debut, but he's not used to pitching out of the bullpen. This is all new to him.
Yep.
And a drive to right, a base hit. Dexter Fowler with a single off Willie Peralta.
That was basically fastball, fairly straight fastball for Peralta. Slider, he'll throw a changeup. There's that fastball right down Main Street on a 3-1 pitch, and Dexter Fowler muscles it out of there into right field. Didn't hit it well, but he got enough of it.
So Fowler is aboard. A fast runner on base, and the Rockies are back at the top of their order in Marco Scutaro. 3-1 Colorado, 9th inning. This game was tied until the 8th. Kadire drove in 2 runs with a double off Francisco Rodriguez. And now the Rockies are 3 outs away, 3 defensive outs from winning the series. Peralta is just 22 years of age. He'll turn 23 in May. The Dominican Republic.
And innings like this are going to help him along his development. Getting your feet wet in the big leagues. You can say he's been in the big leagues. The Brewers think this guy's got a future.
And the Brewers decision makers being very protective of Peralta. Bouncing ball back up the middle, base hit. Fowler on his way to third. Gomez throw, he's late. And the Rockies have a rally going here. First and third, nobody out in the 9th.
Yeah, can't fall behind in the big leagues and get outs. Not all the time. And another fastball that was fairly straight. Scutaro able to find a hole in the center field. Haven't seen that big breaking ball yet from Peralta. It hasn't been in a count where he's able to show it.
It'll be Tyler Colvin now against Peralta. Colvin now the first baseman, started the game in center field. There's that breaking ball you're looking for.
Yeah, good spot for it. First pitch. Drop it in there for a strike. Now you have the hitter guessing. Not sure what's coming next.
How many center field / first base combo players do you have in baseball? Not many.
Not many is right.
I'm sure Carlos Gomez could hold his own over there, but that's not a move you'd see.
Apparently, Jim Tracy wants to give Todd Helton a full day off. That would be the obvious move for him to take Giambi out.
Helton was in the on-deck circle last inning, but to pinch hit, his spot never came up. There's strike 2. Peralta could use a strikeout here. First and third, nobody out. The Brewers are down 2. Fowler and Scutaro on the bags. Big pitch coming up. The 1-2. Colvin rips it foul. Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz are shorthanded in their bullpen. They have the pieces here, but they've had to go into the minor leagues for them with Peralta and Mike McClendon. Narveson on the disabled list. That took Estrada out of the bullpen, put him into the rotation. And Cameron Lowe is on bereavement leave after the passing of his grandfather. There's Mike McClendon, who came with Peralta from AAA Nashville. Estrada now in the rotation.
What a start for Marco Estrada last night. Boy, did he rise to the occasion. Wow.
Set a career high for strikeouts.
9 punch-outs, no walks. He gave up 1 run
in just 5 innings. And for the short term, it could be for the long term, he'll take the rotation spot of Chris Narveson. Swing and a miss. Peralta strikes out Colvin. 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, reaching back a little bit. It had a little bit of a late tail to it. And off the plate, Colvin chases it. Well, now the Brewers have a chance to get out of this mess with a double play.
Peralta made the jump last year from AA to AAA. And 5 AAA starts a season ago after a good run in AA Huntsville. And then started this year in the Nashville rotation. So he's in the big leagues here after just 8 career AAA starts. Facing one of the better hitters in the game, Carlos Gonzalez.
They talk about, being out of rhythm. You mentioned he's a starter. He's coming in out of the bullpen. He hasn't pitched for a week. We saw him throwing a little bit in last night's ball game, just trying to get some work in, and tough circumstances for the youngster to make his major league debut.
First and third, 1 out for Gonzalez, and there's a base hit. A run will score. Colorado has added to their lead. It is now 4-1 Rockies, as Carlos Gonzalez delivers an RBI single, his first hit of the day.
And another mistake with a fastball by Willie Peralta. It was up. It was trying to get away from Gonzalez. It didn't do it. And he's able to hit it hard into center field. Stayed on that one nicely, did Gonzalez.
3 hits in the inning. First and second now for Troy Tulowitzki. Bouncing ball. Gonzalez is there. Steps on the bag to first for a double play. And the side is retired, and Willie Peralta has survived his first major league outing. Coming down to the last at-bat for Milwaukee. They trail 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies scoring twice in the 8th on a Kadir double. Carlos Gonzalez driving in an insurance run in the 9th in the top of this frame. Rockies have banged out 11 hits today. So with a 3-run lead, a save situation, Jim Tracy calls on his new closer this year, Rafael Betancourt.
And Betancourt picked up his 4th save of the year on Friday night. Gave up a double to Carlos Gomez, but actually it was Matt Gamble, but was able to get out of the inning without a run scoring.
This is the rubber game of the series. The Rockies threatening to win the series as they head to Pittsburgh next. Brewers are down 3. Matt Gamble will lead off. He'll be followed by Gonzalez, then Lucroy. And in need of base runners. Milwaukee had a chance with 2 on and nobody out last inning. And the heart of the order coming up. But Matt Belisle retired Braun, Ramirez, and Hart in order quickly to end the threat. And the Brewers come up empty. Gamble drove in a run in the 4th. The lone Brewer run came on a 2-out single by Gamble.
Betancourt is going to stay away just about every pitch with his fastball, particularly the lefties. Doesn't mess around inside too much. So if you know that going in, you have a little bit better shot. But he's got a good one. He very rarely misses with it.
Betancourt's always been a dependable setup man. Rockies got him from the Cleveland Indians in 09. That was a trade deadline deal. And Betancourt solidified that bullpen. Houston Street closing games. They would go into the playoffs that year. But he has never had a lot of success as a closer in his career. His career save percentage is 48%. 31 saves, 64 games. It's tough to gauge it completely because there'll be a number of times he pitched in the 8th inning. It'll be a blown save.
Well, that's most of the time for his blown saves, I would imagine.
It's pretty much been his role. Gamble. Oh, and it's in and out of the glove. Scudero recovers, and it's in time for the out.
Wow.
Looked like Gamble beat it out.
It looked like he did. A little nonchalant over there by Brian Gorman. Wow. Yeah, he beat it. That's a bad call. It was bang bang, but he did beat it. He saw Garth Orge over there. Thought he was safe. Yeah, he's safe.
Wow.
But you know, super slow motion. It didn't look that close in regular speed.
Gamble livid. A base runner the Brewers desperately needed. Out is the call. Gamble retired. Good recovery by Scudero. And here's Alex Gonzalez now. Betancourt coming back from 3-0 down to retire Gamble. And it's quickly 0-2 on Alex Gonzalez. Another look.
Ordinarily, the umpires aren't going to miss that. Well, they look at the base and they listen for the glove to see when the ball hits, and he was safe, but it was close. Sounds like a potential instructional with Bruce Fremming.
Use your eyes and your ears.
That's what they do. They can't see both.
Gonzalez able to lay off. Well, Alex 0 for today. He's 0 for 3 after a big day yesterday. 3 hits, including a 3-run homer. He is the Brewers' RBI leader, Alex Gonzalez. He's driven in 10 this year. Eight of those 10 coming on the home run ball for Gonzalez.
And 3 of them last night. Put the game away.
Well, if the Brewers can get a couple of runners on at the bottom of their order, that'll turn it over the top. Gonzalez batting out of the 7 spot in the order with Lucroy on deck. The Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, the first series of this homestand. And they have split the first 2 games with Colorado, down to their last 2 outs in the 9th inning, down 3 runs. Don't see a guy take over the closer's role at 37 years of age. Closers are usually groomed a lot earlier than that. I think the Rockies feel like they have their closer, their future closer, in Brothers, but he's so young. Betancourt maybe looked at to bridge the gap. We saw Brothers, he didn't get an out earlier in this game in the 8th inning.
Well, most teams don't have a 49-year-old starter either.
That's a good point. You got a little out of the box thinking by the Colorado Rockies. Popped him up. And it's going to be Herrera to make the call and the catch. 2 outs. The Brewers down to their final out on a Sunday afternoon. Brewers didn't have a whole lot of opportunities in this game, but they had a couple late. Had 2 on in the 6th inning, couldn't score. And had 2 on to start the 8th inning. Had the tying run aboard in the 8th with the best part of the order coming up and could not score. And that's kind of been the way it's gone for the Brewers offensively, with the exception of last night. They finally put some runs on the board. Fly ball to center. That should do it. And the Rockies come into Milwaukee and win the series. They take 2 out of 3. The Brewers record drops to 7-9 with the Astros coming in tomorrow. And career win number 800 for Jim Tracy, the 10th manager to win 800 games in the major leagues. A 4-1 final. Much more still to come. Craig Kashawn standing by. What do you have coming up, Craig?
We'll get inside the Brewer clubhouse, talk with Giovanni Gallardo. Well, boy, he pitched a gem as the starter for the Brewers today. No decision for him, but a tough loss here in this series for Milwaukee. Another late inning decision. We'll have it Brewers Live coming up next.